he may be in this material world, he is identified with the material body. And according to the esoteric teaching, as long as we identify with this body, we are no better than cats and dogs, because they also identify with the body. Therefore, Krishna says, Asocyan anvasochastram pragyavadangscha bhasase. While speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Bhagavad-gītā 2:11. Is this wrong? Yes, because gatasun agatasungscha, the body, whether with the soul or without the soul, whether living or dead, is material. So there is no point in lamenting for the material body at any stage. Otherwise, we are simply artificially manufacturing so many problems for ourselves. Will lamenting for old age make us any younger? Will lamenting over the fact that we must die stop us from dying? Will lamenting over the fact that the body becomes diseased save us from disease? Of course not. This lamentation is simply a waste of time and energy. As long as the soul and body are together, we should not be very much interested about the bodily comforts or waste time in lamentation. Instead, we should be interested in making progress in spiritual consciousness. That is making the best use of our limited time in this body. When this body is finished, whatever spiritual advancement we have been able to attain becomes the basis for our next embodiment. And if we reach spiritual perfection in this life, we get a perfect spiritual body in the next life. But people in general are simply engaged in relentless pursuit of bodily comforts. The whole world is going on like cats and dogs, with no real spiritual life. Materialistic civilization means bodily comfort. They take it as a given that civilization means to increase the bodily comforts of life. That is their idea. But they do not seem to understand that even if we are able to increase our bodily comfort unlimitedly, the body still will die. But they do not see that. Instead, they say that, never mind that we shall die. So long as we live, yava jivet sukham jivet. As long as we live, let us enjoy sense gratification and live very happily. They do not see that this consciousness is exactly like animal life. So in the next body, they also become animals. So the esoteric teaching is a great science. Materialistic people do not know the subtle laws of spiritual life. You may think that you are living very happily, but you have to change this body, and the next body may not be very happy. This is ignorance, moha. Tribhir gunamayar bhavar ebhi sarvam idam jagat mohitam nabhijanati mam ebhya param avyayam. Deluded by the three modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance, the whole world does not know me, who am above the modes and inexhaustible. Bhagavad-gītā 7:13. Mohitam nabhijanati. Being bewildered and ignorant by the three modes of material nature, they do not know what is the actual fact, that Krishna is above this material world. Therefore, we have to learn from the perfect person, Krishna, what is our actual position. Here Krishna says that asocyan anvasochastvam pragyavajamscha vasase gatasun agatasungscha nanusochanti pandita. While speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. And then in the following verse, Krishna will explain the real position of the soul. So in material conditioned consciousness, we become bewildered. We think that the body is the self. And then we become entangled in so many material relationships based on bodily sense gratification. My mother and father are my parents. Then I have my sisters and brothers, and my cousins, and uncles and aunts, and so many other relatives, all based on the bodily relationship. And then I have all these possessions. You see, so many material objects, and they're all mine. Why? Because they're in relationship with this body. I think that I am the possessor and the enjoyer of these different objects. And then, when I get out into the real world, I find that there are so many people with so many different ideas, so many different objectives, all crossing my needs and objectives. And there's a huge competition for material sense gratification, for material objects, money, power, wealth, fame, so on and so forth. So in my confusion and my ignorance, I may try to say that, well, actually, this is all nothing. Because we become overwhelmed by the variegatedness and complexity and confusion of material existence. We may try to say, well, actually, this is all nothing. It's all illusion. And this is Buddhism and Mayavadi impersonalism. Because overwhelmed by the complete confusion and variegatedness of material existence and bewildered by the competition and the cross purposes that we encounter in material life, we may try to say, oh, actually it's all zero, it's all nothing, or it's all one, which is the same thing. So, because these different philosophies are there, we may become tempted by them, and this is also a material thing. Why? Because real spiritual life is defined in the Vedas as being devotion to God, devotional service to Krishna. This is real spiritual life. Other theories are simply different people's ideas. They don't come from a higher source. They're just human inventions, and poor quality ones at that. People trying to deal with the complexity and the suffering of life. So to artificially make it all zero, then you can tell yourself, it doesn't matter. Well, but it does matter, doesn't it? The suffering is real, isn't it? So to get beyond this suffering of material life, we need a new platform of existence. Actually, it's our original platform of existence, the spiritual world, where we don't have this material body. We have our spiritual body, our original body. So if this spiritual platform is the real platform of life, then why are we identifying with this material body? After all, this material body is the source of all of our suffering. Old age, disease, death, rebirth, all these things come from the material body. All the different sufferings that we have manufactured for ourselves. Oh, I'm not beautiful. Oh, I'm too fat. Oh, I'm getting old. Oh, this, oh, that. Different kinds of lamentation based on the material body. As soon as we give up our attachment and our identification with this material body, we become free from all this nonsense. And we get to pursue our original spiritual existence, our original spiritual identity in relationship with Krishna. This is real spiritual life, and this is the subject matter of the esoteric teaching. So we don't say artificially make it all zero, just make it all nothing and try to make believe that it's going to go away. It's not going to go away. You're going to have to take another body if you think like that. We say, take the advice in the Vedic literatures, take the advice of Krishna, the supreme authority, the supreme personality of Godhead, and use this valuable information to recover your perfect spiritual body. We hope you've enjoyed this edition of My Perfect Body. This is David Hughes, your host, reminding you to visit us on the web at esotericteaching.org, where you can purchase the complete Esoteric Teaching Introductory Seminar DVD and many CDs of transcendental music and mantras.